One.
Hey, what's up there, everybody? Welcome to Hooked on Sonics. I think this is episode 3 of season 2. I am one of your amazing and talented hosts, Bruce, and over there with that, he's got something weird on his head. There's Tony. Tony, how are you?
What's happening, guys? Good evening, as usual.
Good evening, as usual.
And NFL season kicked off. You know, we're big NFL fans. I know you're a big NFL fan, you're a big Bengals fan over there. I have no qualms about liking two teams. You do what you want, like who you want, but I'm a Ravens fan. Since just before they won that second Super Bowl and won. And then I've been a Raiders fan since high school.
Now, see, here's my rule. You can like two teams, but one's
Not
got to
in,
be AFC, one's got to
I,
be NFC.
I don't
You
care, dude.
you
Maybe,
fail.
maybe I like the AFC better than the NFC. You know what I mean? Come on
Yeah.
now. Let's just be honest. No, I've always been a Raiders fan just because I don't know anybody who possibly wasn't a Raiders fan back in the mid 90s. You had Greg Bell, Howie Long, fucking Marcus Allen, Bo Jackson,
Ronnie Lott.
Ronnie Lott. Everybody was a huge Raiders fan. I don't give a fuck who you was. You
Yep.
was in some way, fashion, or form. I don't care who you liked. It was hard to deny that team, and I've been a fan since. Now, I haven't followed them so closely in the last few years, just due to the fact that that frontline office management and selling off talent and all that BS, where the whole team's not for the team. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I hate it when a division goes like that, and I'm starting to feel like maybe Baltimore's starting to sway in that direction, and it's really starting to take me off because I think Ozzy's gone now.
Really?
I think Ozzy Newsome was that who that was.
I don't remember.
He used to be like the guy that did all the recruiting and shit. I can't remember right offhand. I'm not quite with it today. I've just been running ragged, but yeah. Um, Other than that, yeah, NFL season kicked off. Uh, Can't say nothing more than that. Go
No.
Buckeyes. Buckeyes are looking all right. I mean, they could be looking better. Baltimore could be looking better. Raiders, I'm glad they beat Denver. I didn't see that happening, but hell yeah, take it
Yeah.
on.
There you go.
Katie's team won. Saints won last week. Did you guys win? No, you guys got beat by the Browns, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Badly.
dad,
Badly. Badly.
damn, dude.
All
How'd you go
right.
from being
Well,
Super Bowl contenders to getting whooped by the Browns?
ugh, don't. It's too early. It's too early.
Not on the air.
Ugh, good God. Well, that's enough football talk, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on from the crappy Bengals for the first game. Let's get on to discuss some really cool albums. We have Brantley Gilbert's Halfway to Heaven, the deluxe edition, and then a kind of a super group, as you were, with Jello, Biafra, and the Melvins album, Never Breathe What You Can't See. So, should be a really interesting show tonight for sure.
Indeed, my friend. Indeed.
Absolutely. So besides all these albums and stuff, what have you been listening to, my friend?
Today I was listening to some Heavy Temple. I checked out the album that you gave me from last week because I like to do that fresh. We all know that.
Mhm.
What else have I been listening to lately? A lot of Elder because I went to the show. I still haven't
Mm.
checked out the new album, although I purchased it and I haven't done. I strip it and I put it on a USB stick so I can listen to it and travel with it. But I haven't got to hear it yet, so that's on the list too. That's on deck.
Okay.
So yeah. Other than that, man, looking forward to going to Tennessee here soon.
Okay.
I'm gonna go visit Third Man Records. I'm gonna call you or speak with you about maybe another couple record shops to go visit down there in Nashville.
Yep.
So
Definitely hit up Grimies.
yeah, I saw that internet sensation Oliver Anthony's playing Knoxville here soon, bud. You should probably take
That.
on that show.
Yep. I am actually going to that show. It got It got rescheduled to a bigger venue, the Knoxville Convention Center now.
Really?
Yep, and tickets $25,
He's
as
not
he
playing around.
promised. Nope.
He's not playing around, dude. He had a venue say they were selling tickets for $100, rather $95, and he went nuts. He said, "Nope, not happening. Nope, canceling the show."
Yep.
This dude is about as real for the people as it gets. And
Yep.
I think sticking that $25 marker in everybody's face and going, listen, man, I'm just a normal guy here with a guitar. I've got a hit song. Why do I need to rape everybody for their fucking wallet?
Yep.
$25 is a reasonable ticket to pay to see somebody that is now you could take that to the fucking bank. Legendary status.
Yeah, he's certainly making a good name for himself. I encourage everyone who's even interested or has even remotely heard of this guy, check out his interview that he did with Joe Rogan. I think that dropped like last week. Really, really in-depth conversation with him. Really find out what he believes in, who he is, and how he got started in his road. So it's a really good conversation.
I like the guy. I
Yeah.
absolutely 100%, 10% like the guy. I like the statements that he's making. I like the music that he's making. I think it's very raw. It's very real. It's very um it speaks to the people, man. You don't have to be anybody, but
Yeah.
and that song can speak to you, bud. You don't have to be on, any, per se political side of the fence or whatever. This song speaks to people, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep. Definitely going on the 29th of this month. Uh,
you already got your
Everyone just
tickets.
check around. Yep, got the tickets.
Nice. Are you taking Rhea?
No, she doesn't.
Ah,
She doesn't. She likes his music and stuff. She just doesn't like going to shows.
she don't
And
want to
it's
do the
since it's
crowd.
in Knoxville, it's about an hour away. So
Yeah, she don't want to do the crowd. Are you going with anybody?
yeah. So shout out to my buddy Nick and his wife Ginger. They got tickets, and I'm the plus one. Woo
Have
woo.
fun, dude. Have
No,
fun,
no,
man. Buy your buddy and his old lady a drink.
absolutely.
So yeah, man, I'm excited for you. That'd be really cool, man. That'd be
Yeah.
really really cool.
Yep. Well, speaking of drinks, what are you drinking over there?
Me tonight. Let's see
Yes,
what we
sir.
are having. I think this is my last of the summer season stuff
Mm,
that I was drinking this summer that I thought was pretty good. I don't normally drink fruity beers. Back in the day, Columbus Brewing Company used to make what was called an apricot ale,
mhm.
and I absolutely loved that beer. They haven't made it since. This is the Lunenhagel's Juicy Peach.
I love that beer.
That is a
It's
tasty beer.
it's a delicious beer. It's not overpowering with peach. It's
Yeah, it's a good
it,
beer.
it it's a full flavor. It's good. I'm a
Yep.
big fan.
I am a huge fan, and now that I'm going to start giving some drink reviews because I say that we do booze and music
Yeah.
reviews, I'm going to give the Lunenhagel Peach a 4.5 out of
Nice.
5.
Out of five. Yeah.
Yep, my drink reviews will be out of 5. My album reviews will be out of 10, and I'll do it on a quarterly thing like
Yep.
normal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 4.5 on the Lunenhagels, man. I love them.
Yep. And, real quick, and since we're coming up on the cooler weather and everything, Kugel's also got a toasted Bach. That's a very tasty beer that we're gonna be having on the show too. So
Believe it or not, one of the beers I find myself drinking often during the summer or fall months is I forget who makes it, but it comes in like a pounder can, but it is a honey brown nut kind of ale. It's like a honey brown ale, man. It's amazing,
is that
amazing.
Newcastle?
It might be, man, but whatever whoever makes that, it's in a brown can. Um, it is it is a tasty beer, man, and I really really like that through the fall months. And you can get that, but you can actually get it year round mostly.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
So
pretty sure that's Newcastle. I'm going to take a look for that because that does sound pretty tasty.
I'll be looking to drink some mead through the fall too. I
Yeah,
love mead. Have you ever had mead?
no,
Oh, You don't know what you're missing, brother.
No. Here in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to pick me up some good scotch as I'm delving more into my Scottish history. So I'm going to get me some good scotch.
I'm finding out I like Highland Scotch.
Mhm.
I do not like Highland Scotch. It's too peaty.
But tonight I am drinking good old Woodford Reserve Double Oaked.
That, my friend, is a fine pour. That is a very fine pour.
Yeah, this
Um,
it's very smooth, just very full bodied. Um, just nice, just a really nice
and you're having it neat,
pour.
or
Yep.
you're having it with some ice.
Well, I had no. Sorry, I did have some ice.
That's fine.
That's okay.
That's fine. So what are you going to rate that, sir?
Oh, it's five. It's
It's a
five.
five. It's a
That's
five.
five. Come on. Yeah, Woodford has
I
never done
wouldn't
me
dis-
wrong.
I wouldn't disagree.
Yep.
Woodford makes great products.
Yep.
They
I
do
like
make
it.
great products. Um, yeah, and then the cool thing about the double oak is it's one of those bottles you can usually find on the shelf.
Yep.
It's not one of the ones you have to find.
Yep.
So
Yep. Readily available.
yeah,
Readily available. Have you noticed that Buffalo Trace is back up and running as normal? I haven't seen any shortages of that here lately.
yeah. But how much are bottles costing you down there
45 bucks.
for a bottle of Buffalo Trace?
Hmm.
I think MSRP on that is actually 35. So you guys are
Okay.
paying a nice tax on that.
Okay.
Yeah. If that's what it is as a tax, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm still working on my bottle of it, so it's been a minute. But
Good
that was
stuff.
like, yeah,
It's a
it's
great, it's a great pour. It's like if you would, if I was going to introduce anybody to whiskey and say, here's your first whiskey, I would love to introduce them to one of the finer benchmark lineups from Buffalo Trace or regular Buffalo Trace.
yeah, yep. Eagle Run's part of that, isn't it?
Eagle Rare, yes.
Eagle Rare, sorry,
Eagle
Eagle Rare
Rares,
and Blanton's.
Eagle Rare and Blanton's, those are Blanton's used to be my favorite, and I've explored a lot more whiskey since then and bourbon since then. But of all the stuff I've had from Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare is my most favorite and somewhat accessible. The Weller 12 was probably one of the most amazing things I've
Mm,
tasted. I like it. But it's different strokes for different
yeah,
folks, man. You might like certain things. I'll tell you, man, if you haven't done it, and somebody who just mentioned this the other day, dude, I know a lot of people kind of shit on Jack and whatnot, but if you get that Jack Daniels bonded, man, it got it got it got whiskey of the year,
yeah,
dude. I think last year or the year before. And I'm gonna
yep,
tell you what, dude. Have you had it?
yeah. I've got some.
Oh God, it's a good pour, man. And being able to find it, that's nice.
Yeah, I like the what was that, the single barrel, whatever it was, the um shit, I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I like that one a little bit better. Um, but yeah, bonded's certainly no slouch for sure.
You know the one I don't like from Jack Daniels is the
So
Gentleman Jack.
yeah, don't care for it.
I don't care for it, man, for some reason. It's just it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah, no, I
Cool,
agree.
cool, man.
Yeah.
So let's get over to some news. With that being said, just real quick, want to point out something major, and I brought this over to Bruce's attention. Blue Ridge Rock Festival. Um, I heard people paid, and this is just what I heard. Okay, I don't know the validity of this, but I do hear that people paid like $700 for tickets to this thing. Um, those may have been special seats, whatever. I don't care if you paid 100, 200, 250, 700,000. What happened at this show, rumor has it, is this has been an ongoing issue with this show, is they don't seem to have their act together down
Mm.
there. And another rumor is they possibly oversold the show. Bad storm came through on the first day, really messed up a lot of shit, tore up a lot of the campgrounds, really kind of started the thing off shitty for a lot of people. And I've seen a lot of footage of it on social media. it blows my mind that they would continue to go on. People paid money and didn't see much of nothing.
Yeah.
Oliver Anthony, and
Yeah. I forget the other
Oliver
name.
Anthony and a couple other bands, Papa Roach, and I want to say maybe Shinedown. I can't be for sure. Somebody like that, but I'm pretty sure it was Papa Roach, Oliver Anthony, and somebody else stuck around and did a small acoustic show in the lot. And
Yeah.
want to
It's on YouTube. It's really cool.
really want to commend those guys because that's really cool. I'm really glad that you guys did that and gave people something for their money. But they would end this thing on the second or third day because of weather again. Um, I don't know if this festival is going to be a thing that'll continue
Yeah.
after this year. Something as major in the way that this was handled this year can be crippling for a festival, especially I think it's a 4-day festival. Let me make this very clear. I go to a lot of shows. I've done festivals. I've done all-day shows, 2-day shows, weekend shows. I don't do big festivals anymore, and if I do, it's going to take a lot to get me out. And it needs to be within a couple states. I don't want to be somewhere where I can't get access to a hotel room within an hour. I want to be able to walk to my car, get to a hotel room if it comes down to something like that. When I heard that they were shuttling people 5 miles to the venue, you couldn't even walk to your car because it was 5 miles, and they're in the middle of the rain and stuff and the hail that went on there. Bad call, guys.
No
Bad,
bueno.
bad call. Not good. There should be a contingency plan in place. And apparently you guys weren't set up to do so. Shame on you.
Yep.
Shame on you. But that being said, that is the most major part of news that I can think of at the moment. I'm sure I've missed something. I apologize ahead of time. But Bruce, unless you've got any other news, we
Yeah.
can get
I've
on
got
to
a few
these
things.
reviews.
Yeah. No, I've got a few things.
Go for it.
So, some of the news that we have for September 12th, this day in music history. Um, let's see, Johnny Cash passed away in 2003. I remember that day quite well. It was on a Friday, and I was in a customer's home doing my thing, and when it came over the news that he had passed away, and I openly cried in this lady's house. So that was embarrassing, but it was Johnny Cash, so he deserved it. Uh, see, Neil Peart, today was his birthday. He was born in 1952. Some really cool albums that were released today. Aerosmith's Pump was released in 1989. Death Magnetic by Metallica, released in 2008. Pink Floyd's iconic Wish You Were Here, released today in 1975.
Nice.
And I believe Kiss's Asylum was released today too.
Interesting. Is that all the albums released today that you can think of? Or
That those are the ones that I was able to find today. Yep.
okay. Cool.
Oh, I think David Bowie. David Bowie had another one too.
So I don't know if you're familiar with hearing any of these guys that are taking songs and they're using AI for the voiceovers and doing voice covers of some of these songs.
Yeah.
There's actually an AI cover of Johnny Cash doing Richmond, North of Richmond.
Oh wow. That,
Mind blowing. Mind blowing. I may have sent you the TikTok.
okay. Yeah. Send me that.
I think you'll dig it. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
It's like listening to him sing 13, which Danzig wrote.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
Got the number 13 tattooed on my neck.
That's a great song. Um, Other than that, man,
Yeah.
I can't really think of anything. What have you been listening?
You know what? I've just been catching up on my podcast. So, uh, bunch of political stuff, a lot of Joe Rogan stuff. So,
Yeah, it's getting to be about that time of year, and I got to start turning that shit off on my feed. My brain gets overwhelmed with that shit,
Yep.
and I start becoming, uh, not just wrapped up in it, and it's just I get consumed with it, and I get tired of doing that too. My family gets tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, oh, trust me, I get that a lot. I get that a lot here for sure.
Yeah, well, because we're paying attention.
Yeah.
Everybody else is not. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
funny when you start paying attention, you're the one that starts sounding crazy. You're like, no, no, no,
No,
promise.
no,
Just
no, no. You better check your shit out.
just
It's
read
cool.
this.
It's
Just
good.
listen to this. So, anyway.
Yeah,
All right, let's get to some music reviews, shall we?
yeah.
All
Who's
right.
first this week?
I don't know. You pick. I don't care.
Who's going
Don't
to have the
think too
better
hard.
album
God.
review?
Uh-huh.
Who's going to have the better album review?
I mean,
We can end on a good note. We can end it on a sour note. Like, come on, who's going to have the better album review? I'll tell you what. I'll go first. I'll go first.
damn right you are.
All right. So I had the Melvins with Jello Biafra doing an album called "Never Breathe What You Can't See," and I appreciate this album. I appreciate the album was given to me. However, I have a lot to say about this album.
Mhm.
First and foremost, our mutual buddy Scott turned me on to the Melvins, and I've got a buddy named Adam Casto, local band called Nerd Table here, who is a big Melvins fan and has done some recording or had some production done with the members of the Melvins. Whenever they come into town, them and Adam hook up, and they have a relationship. They have some kind of a relationship there, which is really cool. I actually asked Adam if he would come on to the show, uh, and I don't think he had time today, but we may see him on a future episode. We may not, but the invite was extended. If you get the chance, those guys actually just dropped a new album. I don't remember the name of it right offhand. I will definitely get my hands on it. And God, I know they just recently dropped an album in the last few months. Um, but there's a lot of people on it that you would be familiar with if you're familiar with a lot of the I would say grunge era band stuff. That's a lot of who Adam ends up reaching out to and stuff like that. He works with a lot of different guys. Somehow he gets these guys on his albums and does a really great job. Ever get the chance, check out a local Columbus band called Nerd Table, especially if you're into punkier style stuff. So, with that being said,
Yeah.
Melvins, um, I have yet to hear a Melvins album that I don't like.
Yeah.
I really do. Um, And I don't have a big frame of reference for the Melvins. I understand their impact and their influence. No disrespect. They're just not somebody I got to listen to a lot of. Didn't have access to them at some point, So nobody said, here's a Melvins album. Check these guys out.
Right.
Um, but eventually somebody did, and this happened to me with Clutch. I was way behind the eight ball on Clutch.
Same.
But this was good, man. This is a very, very, very good album. Um, very punky. A lot of punk elements there. Let me just say, everything about this album is the guitar work's amazing.
Oh,
The vocal work is amazing. The drum work and bass work is amazing. There is one song on the album that really, really stood out. And I want to say for me, it was Yuppie Cadillac. I just
Yippee Cadillac's
really,
really good.
dude, I really dug that song. I think there was a point where they were all kind of screaming, chanting some kind of a verse or something in there, and it was just really good. Um, there was so I remember for me it was like the album started off pretty solid, and then it just got towards the middle, and it really exploded in the middle,
Hmm.
like huge explosion of songs in the middle. Those three tracks around Yuppie Cadillac, um, and give me one second here.
Yeah. The
Islamic Bomb and the lighter side of global terrorism.
Yeah.
Those tracks were heavy. And I can't remember which track it was, but one of those tracks had some crazy I know what it I know what it was. I know what it was. I know what it was. Um the Islamic what's it called?
Islam.
Islamic bomb.
Hmm.
The drum work on part of that was that almost rivals the drum intro on Van Halen's Hot for Teacher. It
Mm,
just got that kind of a, you could just tell there's
yeah.
just this groove going on there. Amazing piece of drum work in that
Yeah.
song.
Definitely
Um,
an homage to like some big band style stuff there on that
dude,
drum style.
let me tell you something, man. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Um, so, McGruff the Crime Dog, I loved it. But my favorite track,
It was so good.
but one thing I will point out is this. Of the albums that I've listened to by the Melvins, I don't recall too much being political. There were a lot of political overtones in this album.
Yeah.
A lot of political overtones. And I'm not saying undertones, I'm saying overtones. They were
Hmm.
blatantly in your face.
Yep. And that
And
is courtesy of Jello for sure.
well, I was getting to that if you let me review my damn album.
Sir.
Anyways, no, and that is because of Jello Biafro. So let me make this understood about this guy. This guy is, from what I understand, he's part of the Green Party, which I believe is an independent party. I identify as an independent myself, but it may lean a little more conservative or more liberal. I don't know what is the Green Party? Because
I think I think it's a little more left.
yeah, I think it's a little more liberal. And listen to to some of this stuff come off across this album, you kind of really understand, where this guy comes from. I believe at one point in time he actually ran for president, uh, and he got beat out by Ralph Nader, I think it was, beat him out for the position to move
To
on
run for
and
the Green Party.
to run for the Green Party. So, you know, admirable. You're doing something else. I always love hearing about when a musician is more involved in, other things, no matter what it may be. I don't have to agree with you what you do, your lifestyle, and certain things. There are very few things that I disagree with. Just as long as you're happy and you're not hurting people, that's
Yep.
how I feel. But be aware there are political overtones in this album. I am not familiar with any political overtones in any other album by the Melvins offhand. But please remember, I don't have a big frame of reference for the Melvins. I don't dislike them. I just haven't taken a deep dive on these dudes yet. And it's probably long overdue. So, with that being said, this is a great album. If you are looking for something that almost takes you back to an 80s style punk sound, um, really cool guitars. Nothing seems super technical, but even the solos seem very simplistic, but they fill their need, and they're perfect. Um, Shout out to I think Buzzo for those. Just a great fucking job, man. Um, with that being said, because I don't have such a big frame of reference for the Melvins, but because I have such a love for this kind of music and I've got to give this album.
Bring it.
We'll give it a 9.
A 9. Okay.
We'll give it a
That's
9. It
solid.
is it isn't a perfect punk album for me, but it's a great fucking album.
Yeah.
Like I would venture to go a little bit higher, but I get the feeling I get the feeling there are other Melvin's albums that I'm going to probably appreciate. I know there's one that I appreciate more.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm going to give the album a 9. Thank you very much for a solid album to review. I I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It was a good album.
Yep. So I'll give everyone just a little background on it. That album was released on October 19th of 2004. It came about, the Dead Kennedys who Jello was the original lead singer for. The Dead Kennedys had announced that they were getting back together after a few years, and they didn't include Jello on that. So he was completely dissed and just absolutely pissed off. So uh, Buzzo from the Melvins said, "Well, hey man, let's do an album together to show them how fucking kick ass of a songwriter and singer you are." And instead of coming out and doing a Dead Kennedys album, like covering Dead Kennedy songs, he wrote 2 albums worth of shit. And he came out with a vengeance with this. So um, this album was released out of pure freaking revenge, and I think he did a
Dude,
fantastic
some
job
of
on
the
this.
some of the best albums are those albums that say "fuck you, I'll show you I can."
Yeah, and he brought it. And I don't know if you're familiar with any of the Dead Kennedy stuff, but very political stuff. It's goofy too. It's over the
Dude,
top goofiness, but
it's
yeah,
funny.
it's fun.
It's funny you mention this because I kind of feel that way in my life right now,
Mhm.
especially with the Nomads,
Yeah,
because like Suspect Earth had a lot of success. And, I'm not saying we were so successful that we toured the world or anything like that, but we had a lot of local success and we had a good following.
Mhm.
And, I have no ill feelings towards those guys, and and it could always resurrect, right? But I kind of feel like this project is, my fuck you to everybody. Fuck you. I'll show you I could do it. I'll show you I'm a song singer and a song. I'm a songwriter.
yep,
I know enough about music that I can put music together. So, and I've got a great bunch of guys that are working with me, but I also feel like it was a smart move. It's like the Danzig move, dude. You know what I mean? Just bring your players in and out, man.
yeah,
Utilize them until, they become a problem, or, that you need to move on to something else.
yep,
It's no disrespect, but like I have a lot of control. And because I have that lot of control as far as the guys that I work with, it's great. You know, and it's not because I want to control them. It's because they allow me to direct them, and they even give me ideas. So it's not like they don't put their own input in. Don't get that twisted. You know, but as far as the main riffs and everything, 9 times out of 10, I'm writing them. You know,
yeah,
so but I get it, and I feel like this is my chance to go, motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm almost 50 years old, but I can still do this shit.
yeah,
So
yep. Yeah, that's definitely what his frame of mind was. Just real quick, Please McGrath, the opening track to this song, it's fucking brutal good, so good. Um, and again, McGruff the Crime Dog, Yuppie Cadillac, um, Cape Crusader. I didn't think I was gonna like it first, but
what? I like
yeah,
that one too, man. I mean, like I said, that there's like it started off really, really good. Don't get me wrong, but the
yeah,
middle of the album just fucking exploded, dude.
yeah,
Like, whoa, like it was good, man. It was
yeah.
good.
Yeah, so for me, I would give this a 9.8, 9.9. I mean, I love this album.
I'm
Love it.
guessing. I'm guessing if I were to reevaluate this album after doing a deep dive, I would probably give it a 9.75.
Yeah,
But I want to know more. I
yeah,
need to know because I can guarantee you this: the album that I like by them, I like, you know, a good solid nudge above this album.
yeah.
So
Okay.
cool. Thank you. Thank you
Well,
again.
oh, you're welcome.
All right, let's hear yours, boy.
All right.
While I drink this beer and let you talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my formerly nicotine stained fingers, I have in front of me Brantley Gilbert's Halfway to Heaven, the deluxe version. This was his second album. It was released, the deluxe version was released September 13th, 2011. So, but the original was released March 16th, 2010. Uh, it was produced by four different people. Brantley Gilbert was one of them, the Adam Brothers, and a couple other guys. Uh, In 2011, there was two singles that went number one on this album. The
Be
country
countrywide.
must be countrywide, and then you don't know her like I do. Those were the two singles off this album. The album peaked at number 4 on the Billboard charts, number 2 on the country charts, number 1 in the Heat Seekers albums, and number 13 on the independent albums. So when this came out, it was on Colt Ford's. I think it was Average Joe. Average Joe is the record company for Colt Ford. So they got some really cool artists in on there. And I think at one point David Allan Coe was going to record an album for them, but David Allan Coe did David Allan Coe stuff. So
He actually wrote with Colt Ford, or wrote a song for Colt Ford. He
okay,
mentions it in show.
okay.
I can't remember exactly what it is, but give me a second. Hey, Katie. Okay.
Ah,
Figure she may know. Go
yeah.
ahead.
This album has sold over 1 million copies. That was last checked around 2015, 2016. So
Not a bad album, dude.
no, especially for a sophomore album, he really did good on this. I will tell you, this style of country, I call it bro country. This is not my first. This is not my first um, pick. It's not my first choice when it comes to listening to country music.
Dirt Road Anthem. Colt
Yeah,
Ford.
Dirt Road Anthem was not on this. Well, the revisal was, or the reprise,
Yeah.
but the original was not on this album.
Yeah.
But anyway, um, this type of bro country stuff I typically don't listen to. It's, to me, it's very, very polished, very, it's radio friendly. I mean, this is what it's for. It's to sell records and be very radio friendly. Um, so where Tony kind of alluded to it earlier, where he likes to listen to an album one time, maybe twice on the day that we review. I'm the exact opposite. I need time to really digest an album. And this is one of those albums, like if I had to do it on the first day, I probably would have gave it a 2. Because it's that polished bro country.
Right.
So after giving it almost a week, and I've been listening to this album pretty much every day. Been listening to this album every day, and it grows on you. And you actually start paying attention to the songwriting. And you look past some of that polish, and you actually dive into some of the lyrics, and you look
find out you're
more
starting
into
to get
it.
a little dirt under your fucking boots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's it grows on you. This album definitely grows on you. If you're more of a traditionalist country person, I definitely would say check this album out. Give it time. Give it time. It started off with Hell on Wheels. Um, again, when I first heard this song, I'm like, okay, dude, simmer down, outlaw. Okay. But again, after listening to it, I'm like, okay, he's all right.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
all right.
dude. I
It's a
told
good
you,
song.
man.
It's a catchy song.
I do.
It's
I'm
definitely a
telling you,
catchy song.
dude. I tell you what, it takes a lot to impress me. It takes even more to impress me when it comes to country.
Yeah.
This dude's live show, hook, line, and sinker my fucking ass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Instantly became a fan. Like, yeah, I'm with this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some interesting choices for singles for me. Some of the songs that I thought should have been singles weren't. The title track, Halfway to Heaven, it was based on a true story. When he was 19, he got into a almost fatal truck accident, and that song, Halfway to Heaven, is about his journey through that whole experience. So after hearing the backstory to that and re-listening to that song, you're like, oh wow, this is really good songwriting. I think probably one of my favorite songs from a songwriting perspective is "Saving Amy." He's writing the song from the standpoint of being dead. So he's dead, and he's asking God to save his girlfriend that he was going to marry, and he's looking down above her, and I'm like, holy shit! Such a good song, such a great twist,
Yeah.
plot twist, and it came early. It was like, wow, that was really good. Um, let's see, Back in the Day was really good. Again, it reminds us of or reminded me of kind of what it was back when we were kids and stuff. So Back in the Day was really cool. Kick It in the Sticks. That was another one that had to grow on me. I'm like, okay, dude, simmer down. But
Dude, he opens up his show with that song.
yeah,
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 he opens up the shows with that.
yeah. So I would say in general, I think that his slower stuff, I like his slower stuff a little better, but I'm not saying yeah, I'm not saying the other stuff's trash. I'm just saying I think for his voice, I think that slower stuff works a little bit better for
Yeah.
me. And then they did a little revisited version of Dirt Road Anthem with Colt Ford, um, and that's on the oh shoot, the deluxe version where they re-released that. So Them Boys was really good as well. So um, going through all that, well, before I give my review, Tony, what really stood out to you on this album?
You got to give me a second to pull it up, sir. My
Threw a
bad. I
curveball.
didn't realize I didn't realize I would need to. So,
Oh yeah,
um,
it's
so
conversation
as
piece.
far as so the reason why I gave you this album, right,
Mhm.
was because um, there are a lot of um, songs on the album. If you listen to the deluxe version, um, and that's the reason why I gave you this album because I wanted to give you as much of his hits that I could find in an album on a regular album, even if it was a deluxe version. But I've seen him do "Kicking in the Sticks" live, "Country Must Be Countrywide" live. I'm actually surprised you didn't mention this song, but "Take It Outside."
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
He's done that live. "Dirt Road Anthem" I seen him do live. "You Don't Know Her Like I Do" live, and I think he may have done "Hell on an Angel" live. But if he didn't, I think that's a song that Kate was looking forward to hearing, and he didn't do it. But I will tell you this: that's the reason why I gave you that album because I've
Okay.
heard a good portion of this album live, and man, let me tell you, I don't want to make this very fucking clear. This dude throws on a hell of a show, and he is surrounded by a lot of talented musicians in his band. A
Yeah.
lot of talented musicians. Anywhere in the midst of all the shit that they're doing live, right? These guys break out into 30-second bits of Rage Against the Machine, um, fucking Godsmack, fucking Corn, fucking. I mean, because this is about the time that he was blowing up in his world, the country world. This is what the rock world was doing while he was
Yeah.
blowing up. And dude, he does his band does some of this stuff, man. And one of the most amazing things I've seen, and let me make this clear again, I am not the Nickelback fan that my wife is. My wife is a Nickelback fan. I acknowledge they're a good band. Maybe not my cup of tea, not who I'd get in the car and just throw on, right? But when I saw him open up for Nickelback and his guys come out on stage and the guy that opened up for the show come out on stage and they did Copper Road.
Copperhead Road.
Yeah, Copper
Yeah.
Road, dude, Copperhead Road, dude. It was a good time. I like if you weren't redneck, you were at that point. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, no, it was a good show, man. And the guy hooked me line and sinker, man. He had
Yeah,
catchy tunes. His band knew how to play. Um, and he just seemed like a real person, dude, like a real person. Like he kind of has that same vibe that everybody gets from Jelly Roll.
yeah,
He's just a real person, dude, an absolutely real person,
yeah,
you know. And that's what people want right now.
yep,
This Oliver Anthony guy, he's a real person. He's a real person, dude. He's singing about real fucking shit. This is what a lot of people want right now, man.
yep,
We're going through real shit right now. And
yep,
these guys are the guys that are leading the forefront, speaking directly to these people and how they feel.
yep.
So,
I agree.
yeah,
So you reminded me. I forgot about mentioning "My Kind of Crazy." That was one of my favorite songs on
that's
this
that.
album.
I think I've seen him do that one live. It was
Yeah,
great.
really great song. So, um,
Take It Outside, phenomenal live. The
yeah,
crowd goes nuts, like
yeah.
nuts.
Oh, I bet. I bet. And I think hearing a lot of these songs without that studio polish that's on there, this is a polished album.
No
It
doubt.
is a very polished album.
But see that Nashville and all them, they
Yep,
love to do
I
that with
get
them
it.
boys. They
I
love
get
to do
it.
that with them boys,
I
dude.
know. So, I definitely see your point of view. I can see these, man, if these guitars are a little cranked up a little bit more, a little more fuzz on there or something. Seeing this stuff live, I would definitely probably come away with a way better attitude way quicker
Yeah.
than what it took me. But for me, I give this album on its own a good 8.5. And again, uh, it,
I know bro country ain't your thing, dude.
yeah,
I know it's not.
but
But
once
you were
you,
able to strip it down and
yeah,
take it for what it was worth.
yep, yep,
I'm glad you did that.
yeah.
I'm glad you did that. I had my worries when we first spoke on it.
Oh,
But
trust me, I did too. Like when I'm telling you, when I first heard that opening song, I'm like, oh God, what is this? I was just pissed immediately. I'm like, but it took the time. It took time,
dude, I
and that's
implore
and that's a sign of a great song. If you can get past the production and you actually listen to the words, you listen to the structure of the actual song, and you're like, you can look past some of that shit, some of that polish. You're like, okay, underneath
they
this,
dude,
this is,
they love to do it with them Nashville boys.
yeah,
And I'm gonna tell you, there's another guy I feel like that, man. You're gonna call it bro country just the same.
mhm,
But if you get down to it, at the end of the day, it's great songwriting.
yeah,
It's great songwriting, and these guys are writing about some good times. This is my philosophy,
yeah,
and this is just my philosophy. And I implore anybody to speak on this. Maybe we can make it an episode. It is my personal opinion that the status of rock and roll as a general genre and metal as a general genre is lost. There are no radio stations playing new shit. What new shit they're playing sucks. Even the bands of today don't sound like they're really putting out the greatest of stuff. Like music in the rock realm is lost. It's lost. And ever since grunge died, metal as a whole is lost.
yeah,
Okay. People are confused. They don't know where to go. And then part of that is to blame is because all of the genreism. You got doom metal, you got stoner metal, you got prog metal, you got speed metal, you got thrash metal, you got goth metal. That's part of the problem,
yeah,
right? Now you have country, and some of these country artists are really getting upset that some of these elements of hip hop
yep,
and rock are making
yep,
their way into country. They didn't mind the rock so much, man, but there are other elements coming into country. And it's like, dude, what are you getting mad about? Because we've been dealing with this shit in the rock world for decades,
and look what it did
decades.
to rock.
And rock is in a real weird state of affairs. I understand kicking your heels up about it. I
Yeah,
get it because had we known it wasn't, music would end up where it's at today, we probably would have kicked our heels up about it a little bit more. We were fooled. We were
yeah,
fooled. They got us. No, but no, like realistically though, like you and I have listened to music, and I would say easily, since we could take music in, absorb it, and really, really take it in, right? Since the days of 92X with Susie Wad.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the great Susie Wad, one of the greatest DJs ever in
Yeah.
the Columbus area market. We love you so much to this day. But we're talking 82, 82 and up, right? Fair enough. Fair enough to say we were absorbing music since then. We've seen the non-polished, we've seen the polished, we've seen the punk, we've seen the metal, we've seen the rap, we've seen the hip hop, we've seen, you know, the many different genres that would expand. And there's probably stuff we still haven't even checked out, which is fine. But when you could take an album like you just did and say, this person listened time to, this probably wasn't for me. But then, like you said, you absorb it. I take in music differently. We spoke about this earlier.
Yeah.
I want the freshest, because that album's going to stick out in my mind. If there are 3 or 4 tracks on that album's going to stick on in my mind. Now, the other 4 tracks that are on the album, they may grow on me. But if those 3 or 4, if I go through the first time and I'm not feeling anything, and it's hard for me not to feel anything because I love all kind of music.
Mm.
It ends up with a low score, but I also have to look beyond whether or not I like the music or the vibe, because there is a songwriting. Is the songwriting good? Is the chord progressions cool? Or is there good stuff there? Is it just a bad vocal? Is it just bad production? I mean, we have to take those things into consideration best we can. I think this album that I had to review, the production was great.
Oh yeah.
I think the production was great. I think all hands on deck sounded wonderful. That's why it gets a 9 from it,
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I look forward to checking out more Melvins. I really need to do that. And you know who else I need to check out more of that Scott turned me on to? Fu Manchu.
Okay.
Yeah, Fu Manchu. If you like the Melvins and stuff like that, man, you gotta check out some Fu Manchu. They're cool as fuck too.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll definitely check them out.
Yeah. But no, so you give it an 8.5. With it
Yep.
being an 8.5, would you check out more Brantley Gilbert shit?
Yes. Probably not this week, but yes, I will.
I'm not going to say you got to do it tomorrow or anything like that. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
By the way, big shout out to Bojangles. We'd like to be endorsed by you. Thank you for opening up in Columbus. We're not trying to give away free chicken biscuits. We just want free chicken biscuits and Bowberry biscuits. So shameless plug.
We're open we're open for sponsorships if anyone wants to. If anyone from Bojangles wants to send out free food for a
for the
spot,
crew.
I'm open.
Yeah. Well, I would do it. No, that was cool that they opened up this morning. Other than that, man, no. I think we had a couple good reviews here. I hope that you would check out some other Brantley Gilbert stuff. He does have a lot of good songs, man.
Yeah.
I've seen him twice. The show was almost exactly the same. A couple songs changed, but he's good, man, and he's hell of a performer. And his backing band is absolutely fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
All right, my friend. What now? It's time for albums for next week.
Well,
and I got to tell you,
this
week has been the absolute hardest to decide what I'm going to give you. So I'm going to let you go first, and depending on what you give me, that might help me decide what I'm giving you.
Give me 1 second, please.
While Tony's looking at that, everyone, please like, share, subscribe.
Okay,
tell a
full
friend.
albums. Full albums. All right, I just need to make sure the full album is on YouTube. Okay, yeah, I got you. You ready for your album for next week?
Yeah.
I'm gonna return the favor. I'm gonna give you a Melvins album. Ooh. And this is the Melvins album that Scott gave me.
Okay.
And I absolutely love this album. This album is a 10 from me. Okay. You will get Melvins Stoner Witch.
Okay. I have heard that one before, and it's been a minute, and so I'm looking forward to revisiting this thing.
Good album. I love it.
Okay.
I absolutely love it. It's probably of the 2 or 3 albums that I've heard from the Melvins, is one of them. So.
Okay. Well, that didn't make my choice any easier, but I think just to give a little contrast to Brantley Gilbert, I'm going to give you an album that was released about the same year as that. And I think this is this guy's last really great album.
Go for it.
Hank Williams III, Damn
Hank
Right.
3?
Yeah, Hank 3, Damn Right, Rebel Proud.
You know what?
Hmm.
I think you've given me this before to listen to.
I did not.
I know you've given me some Hank 3.
I believe I gave you Straight to Hell.
Yeah, may have been that one.
Yep.
Hank 3, Damn Right.
Yep. Damn Right, Rebel Proud.
Interesting enough. I look forward to it. It is available on the tube.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. I hear rumor has it not so long ago or some time ago he was not in good health, or he was on the way to fucking his whole world up somehow or something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe some drinking issues or something.
uh, he likes substances. Uh, I have not heard lately about how he's doing, but the last time I talked to some of the members of Nashville Pussy who was on tour with him at one point, they just all they said was that dude's got a lot of demons, and I think they kicked him off that tour.
Really?
He's and you can if you ever do a dive into his music, and this is why I say this is probably his last really, really good album. And it just gets weirder and just it's not good.
The substances.
Yeah. Like
Probably
you
been fucking a bunch of shit up.
there's a huge decline in productivity and just quality of shit that he's putting out.
Right.
So hopefully he gets back up and running, but he has not been out doing anything for quite a while. So
Okay. One last thing I'd like to announce before I get off here. If any of our fans are actual Suspect Earth fans from the many, many years that I had done some stuff with them, it is in the works. It has been in the talks that we will re-release all of the first album, or the only album that was ever recorded, and then some tracks that were recorded but never released through a band camp that I'll be setting up here soon. So you'll be able to get your hands on those. Um, depending on if there's a resurgence of people really wanting to check that stuff out or put some money into it, we may even decide to throw some shirts up on there and stuff. Uh, just because it was a time, and there's stuff that you guys haven't gotten to hear recorded that sounds pretty cool. So, do you have any of that unreleased stuff, Bruce?
nope. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay.
I can't even get a version of Mind's Eye, but I appreciate it.
The reason why you can't get a version of Mind's Eye is
No, I don't want to
because
hear it.
I am working with somebody, and I told you this earlier. I am working with somebody who is they are possibly going to do some of the editing and splash pages and putting together some stuff for us. My buddy Omar from New Mexico. I do a lot of
Shout out
online.
to Omar.
Shout out to Omar. So I will talk with him sometime this week. Hopefully, I'm going to send him over an early video, see what he can do with it, see how we feel about it, and then we'll go from there. But other than that, I guess you have Stoner Witch by the Melvins next week, and I have Hank 3, Damn Right, Rebel Proud. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If
Yep.
you like what you see here, hit that like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to check us out on your favorite podcast. We're everywhere now. And we will look forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday, roughly around the same bat time and same cat
Bat
channel.
channel. Excellent.
All
Thanks
right,
again, guys.
Bruce.
Tony, again, thanks as always for everything you do for us, and looking forward to next week.
Yes, sir. Well, I look forward to hearing from you next week, and enjoy your album, man.
You too. See you
Bruce.
guys.
Later.